Thanks for joining this call, Steve. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Jackson, Mississippi, Ridgeland, Mississippi. Excuse me.
Okay, is it a busy time of year for you with work, family, etc.?
Uh, it is. We're going into our busy season. It hasn't really started yet, but I'm seeing signs of it. I have had several phone calls yesterday that are, I think, will be productive. So, yeah, we're going into it. Spring and summer is our busy time.
Yeah, just coming out of the low period.
Yeah, you got it. Holidays, uh, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, there's nothing going on. Nobody wants to move then unless they have to.
Can you just share a bit about your role at your company and how it fits into the bigger picture?
Yeah, I can. I have been doing this for about 26 years. I'm broker owner of Real Estate Partners. And anyway, I have 5 agents that work for me. Small company. And our specialties are new construction, which accounts for about 60% of my business, something like that. And I am proud to be. This will change. There'll be other agents, but for right now, I'm the only agent in my state of Mississippi that's AI certified. I have a designation accredited buyer representative, certified real estate negotiator, and so that's basically the basics of it anyway. You tell me
Okay.
what you'd like to know.
So, how does your business model differ from traditional real estate practices?
Oh, there's a lot of difference. For instance, the policies that I have with working with my agents, um, they they know that a lot of brokers require their agents to show their listings first before they show anything else. And of course, that's not my policy at all. I just want you to find out what the buyer is looking for and find it for him. I don't care who's got it listed. Uh, that's what I want to know. Um, Also, another policy that I have with my agents is when someone calls about a listing, wanting details about number of bedrooms, bath, price, all that type of thing, give them the information. Uh, some brokerage train people to say before they even give them information, are you pre-qualified for a mortgage? Well, that comes down the line. You establish a relationship first. You give them the information they want, and then you find out if they're pre-qualified for a mortgage. I had one lady told me that she had called 3 different agents and they asked her, were you pre-qualified for a mortgage? Well, this lady's a cash buyer. She doesn't need a mortgage. So that's something else. Now, also, I mentioned that a large part of our business is new construction. Another policy that I have is you will not put a real estate partner sign in front of a builder's property that is not quality built. We just have a small group of builders, and that's where we want to stick with.
Okay. So, how do you typically engage with potential clients? Like, what strategies have worked best for you?
Okay. My website, realestatepartners.info, brings a lot of attention in. So what will happen is once somebody signs up on my website to search the MLS, I get their contact information. I shoot them an email and introduce myself and tell them, hey, you're welcome to search my website, but if you'd like for me to provide a custom search, I will. Sign calls, another way. Then a lot of people will see me on realtor.com or homes.com. I got those too. Then a big part of our business is past client referrals. Um, I got a lady yesterday. I sold her brother a house I think 13 years ago. And he called me and said, my sister is in the market now, and I'm going to give her your name and number. So that's very valuable, probably the most valuable leads there are. So that's the bulk of it. There are other sources, mostly internet, but that's the bulk of the business right there.
Oh, you were talking about how important referrals are to you. So what steps do you take to encourage them, to keep their lasting relationships?
I've got several groups of people that I market to. Past clients, I mentioned that already. Then I have client prospects. Now, what I do is it's not an invasive type of marketing plan. I don't want to load somebody's inbox up, and I don't want to send them salesy posts and emails, but informative stuff. What are the 5 best coffee shops in the area? What are the 5 best restaurants in the area? 5 best family-friendly, dog-friendly walking parks, that type of thing. We recently had a cold weather storm that came through here. So before that, 2 or 3 times during the week, I sent them how to prepare your home for cold weather, how to prepare your home for ice, and that type of thing. So I'm staying top of mind with them, and
Yeah,
without
I,
without loading their inbox down on wasted materials.
I suppose just constantly keeping that reputation up of your business helps go a long way because, people are not going to move house that often. So like you said, 15-year gap is a very impressive period to have someone at the forefront of your mind. So it obviously shows how good your business can be.
Yes, the whole point is to um, consistency is the most important thing. And the whole point is to align myself as being the local real estate expert. Um, I have another service that all my clients know about. I maintain a group of subcontractors. And when somebody needs a plumber, an electrician, a painter, or whatever, they call me to get a recommendation for that particular thing. Um, I've had people call me years after the sale for, hey, Steve, who do you know that removes trees from properties that are dead? Uh, that type of thing. So once again, it's consistency. It's putting myself and maintaining myself at top of mind. Um, like one fellow said one time, he said, it's not necessarily the best real estate agent that wins, but it is the best marketer that wins.
No, it's interesting. I mean, a lot of other conversations I've had with agencies, they all say how relationship building is the key to longevity in the business.
Oh, yes. In fact, there's another saying that I like a lot. The difference between a contact and a contract is only one letter, R, and that stands for relationships. We really don't sell homes. We build trust and we build relationships with people. Somebody asked me one time, what's the best part of your business? And because they know I love my job. So what's the best part? Well, the best part is all of these clients and close friends that I've made in the past 26 years. That's the best part of the business.
Okay, so you were talking to me about the use of AI and, using that in your business. How did that come about and how did you get aware of that in the industry?
But I've been watching it evolve for several years. And so I got an email from Nick Krim, who's the owner, CEO of the Krim Institute of Artificial Intelligence. And we started emailing back and forth. Okay, tell me about this. Why is this important? Well, and when clients ask me of what that's AI certification, what does it mean for me? Well, it means that I have and use marketing techniques uh, many, many times a day, every day, uh, that most people don't even know exist. So for a seller, uh, if I tried to pull this material together without the help of AI, my AI assistant, it would take me days to do it. But in seconds, I can put in the basic facts about a house, the price, the location, the school system, number of bedrooms, baths, just the basic facts. And then I can ask my AI assistant, Chelsea, what are the three groups of people who are most likely to buy this house? And turns out, okay, now how do I market to these three groups of people? And it'll come out with several different platforms and suggestions, that I can do. Then it will come up with a property description that I put online. Um, Now, also, I mentioned that a lot of my business is new construction. Well, obviously, new construction is vacant homes. There's no furniture in it. So what I do is I virtually stage them. Now, I leave the picture of the vacant home, the vacant room in there. But right next to it, there's a picture with furniture and rugs and pictures hanging on the wall. So people can say, okay, here's what this could look like. And then once again, I mentioned my website, realestatepartners.info. That's very valuable to me because one of the things that they do, one of the many things that they do is each one of my listings has its own website. So if I've got 123 Oak Street, Madison, Mississippi, 39110, when I set the website up, that address will show up in Google better than the others. So that's very helpful to me. My blog section of my website, once again, not salesy, just informative, telling people about the area. I've got some people that I talked to yesterday moving in from Colorado. They really know nothing about the area, but I've got everything they need to know up on my blog page. So I've sent them to it. I've got somewhere around 100 blogs about the Madison and Rankin County areas of Mississippi.
Oh, you talk about the use of AI and being able to dissipate your workload to, free up time. How is that helping you with other sides of the business?
Well, one of the main purposes of my certification is you spend less time in front of a computer and more time in front of buyers and sellers. Well, every agent knows that in a perfect world, in other words, if I could have whatever I wanted, then I would spend 100% of my time in front of buyers and sellers. Uh, that's not going to happen. But we try to get as close as we can to that because when I'm behind a computer doing necessary work, that's less time that I'm in front of people.
No, that's understandable. I mean, obviously, you're the face of the business as well, and communicating to these potential clients all the time, is keeping you relevant in the industry as well without bogging you down with the admin side.
Oh, yes. And market knowledge is vital in this business. Um, when somebody asks me a question about a particular neighborhood, a particular house, or whatever, um, if I have to say, I don't know, let me look that up. That's not too impressive. When people want information, they want it now. And so consequently, uh, I limit myself to a geographical area. So consequently, I can tell you anything you want to know about any neighborhood in these two counties. Um, One reason I limit myself geographically is that you can't be an expert on all areas. In other words, I am north of the capital city and east of the capital city. If someone asks me about areas that are southwest of the capital city, then I really don't know that. I'm not an expert on that. I was reading some materials from an agent in North Carolina whose name escapes me, but her production is just out the roof. And that's one of the first things she said. I limit myself to particular areas because I'm an expert on those areas. I'm not an expert on others, so I don't service those areas.
So in
Oh,
terms of getting good at one solid thing instead of being a jack of all trades.
right. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, I like that saying.
Yeah, I love that saying too. Now that being said, I've got an agent, Steve Kraft, who lives south of town. So if I get a potential client that wants service in that particular area, then I send it to Steve Kraft. I have an agent who is fluent in English and Spanish. If I get a Spanish speaking person in, Elizabeth Garcia gets him, and it's it's very helpful.
Okay. So how do you see the current real estate market evolving, especially, with your integration of technology?
Oh, I'm very excited about 2026. Now 2025 was an excellent year. Um, 2024, however, was terrible. I mean, the rates were close to 8%, and that shocked everybody. So obviously, that was a terrible year. So at the end of 24, at the end of every year, I always establish my goals for the following year. My goal in 2025 was to double the production that we had in 2024. And we actually did a little bit better than that, even though my accountant said, "Man, that's a lofty goal. I don't know if you can do that or not." I said, "I'm going to do it." So we beat that. Now I've raised the bar again in 2026 because not only do I have my AI resources, but I've recently hired a marketing firm. Um, uh, Fusion Growth Partners is the name of it. And they are doing a lot of my campaigns for me. What we call sphere of influence campaigns. These are people who know me and I know them. And the trick is to grow your sphere of influence and continue to market to them. So, like AI, Fusion Growth Partners is going to take a lot of my marketing off my plate. So, once again, I can spend more time in front of people.
Okay. So considering all of that, what do you consider your main challenges in the market today?
Well, okay, the main challenges are this uh, prices, they keep going up. You got people that are going to say, well, I'm going to wait till they come down. They're not coming down. Now, they're not rising as fast as they were. Um, right now, I think it's predicted in my area that they're going to rise, prices will rise about 8% during the course of the next year. Uh, Back in 2020 and 2021, they were rising at a rate of 20% or more per year. So that's a challenge. Then you've got another group of people who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the interest rates to drop below 4%. Well, that's not going to happen in our lifetime. Now, they may come down a little bit more. They will come down a little bit more. But I ran a study from 1970 to 2024. During that period of time, the interest rates were only under 6.5% twice. Once was the pandemic, once was the crash of 2008. Well, the crash of 2008 is not going to happen again because of all the laws and regulations and mortgage policies that are keeping people from buying homes that they can't afford. Back in 2007, people were buying homes that were, say, 700,000, and they could only afford a $300,000 house. So that's one of the main factors that caused the crash. So that's not going to happen again. And of course, I pray that we never have another pandemic. But those are the only two times that it's been below 6.5. Now, right now, if you have good credit, you can get a fixed rate mortgage for a little bit under 6%, 5.9, something like that. So I think people are seeing that they're going to come off the fence, finally realizing that, hey, this is as good as it gets. And then you've got a group of people who are renters, who've been talking about owning a piece of property. They've been sitting on the fence. But the of it is, if you're renting, you're paying 100% interest. So interest rates should not affect that group of people, but they do.
Okay, so this leads me to my last question. What advice would you give to someone new to the real estate market?
Okay, so you're speaking of a first-time home buyer, something of that nature, right?
Well, both aspects, as a buyer and say if I was going to open my own agency in 2026 in the US.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, if it's a new agent coming into the business, number one rule, you put your client's interest above your own. In fact, that's a part of the realtor oath that we take. But people recognize quickly when somebody's out there just to make a buck or when they're actually after their own interest. Number two, you've got to have a strong internet presence if you're going to do it. That's expensive. Internet presence costs a lot of money, but it's vital in the business. Now, I mentioned market knowledge earlier. When you're fresh into the business, you don't have any clients right now. You're not showing houses. So what you do is you get in the car or truck and you go look at the current offerings, go in and out of them, analyze each neighborhood so you develop market knowledge. Once again, people know quickly when someone is a professional and when they're not. So that's the advice that I would give to an agent. To a first-time home buyer, number one, get pre-qualified first, because without being pre-qualified, you don't know what your budget is. People go online to these mortgage calculators and try to figure out what their payment's going to be at this particular price. Every one of them are extremely inaccurate. You need to talk to a mortgage professional, someone who can coach you through the process, and sit down with a realtor such as myself. I've got a lady that I'm going to meet with in the next day or so to walk her through the process, talking about pre-qualification, earnest money, appraisals, home inspections, that type of thing. And you've got to educate people on what is going to happen, because if you don't, they're nervous, they're scared. This is the biggest investment that they'll ever make. And they need to know what's going to happen before it happens. I call it a buyer counseling interview.
Okay. Well, look, that was great. Thanks for sharing.